beautiful people, how are you? Welcome to day 134 of Lyndall's Luscious Limberings. Thank you for joining me. It's always nice to see you. You're looking particularly well today, I have to say. No, you are. It's okay. It's your inner glow. Stretchy, chill out, casual, calm day today. It's going back to being cold in Melbourne, so if you are following me along day by day, just make sure you're nice and warm and cozy and all that kind of thing. Okay, so let's do it. If you are following with day 134's playlist at home, 3, 2, 1, go. Feet hip width apart, please. Lift up the toes, find the balance between the inner outer foot and between the ball of the foot and the heel. Gently place the toes down. Just soften the knees, don't do a particularly deep bend with the knees. Take a deep breath and just feel like your heels are growing backwards and downwards into the floor. And as that happens, you might start to feel that the small of the back and the butt cheeks want to start relaxing. So just heels growing backwards and downwards, let that happen. And at the same time, the webbing in your toes and the toes themselves spread out. So your toes are spreading like tree roots into the ground. The very base of your torso wants to sink down to the center of the earth, while the top of your head wants to float up into the sky. Deep breath in and out. And just go in your own rhythm, breathing in and out. Good, and start to allow a softening across the chest so that the sternum can relax down to touch the small of the back as the butt cheeks release. Good, and just head down to chest and back up. And keep going with that rhythm, just going down and up. And as you're doing that movement, then just float your awareness to the ankles, let them expand. And the calves expand, the knees expand, all the way up the thighs. Thighs are becoming hollow. And the muscles over them are just melting away. And the pelvis is like a bridge that connects from one leg to the other, nice and broad. And if you like, imagine this nice warm golden light in the pelvis, and it's spreading forwards out of the lower abdomen, backwards out of the small of the back, sideways through the hips. So keep the head down and just look from left to right with the head down. And softening over the front of the belly. Imagine over the diaphragm that you're like a sphere expanding in all directions. Let the muscles across the front of the chest, the pectoral muscles, just dissolve. And the shoulder blades slide down the back. Good, head comes up again. And just pop the head to one side, give a gentle nod. Really let the butt cheeks feel like they're sliding down the backs of the legs. And if you're starting to warm up, you can start to explore just gently, softly, the range of movement here. And the shoulder blades are sliding further apart from each other and down the back. The area under the armpit wants to relax down to touch the ribs. And the area over the front of your throat is expanding. Earlobes are sliding down the sides of your neck. And imagine the facial muscles just get to soften and relax down. Take the head across to the other side and gently exploring the range of movement again. Go back and rebalance the weight on the feet. And just allow the arm bones to feel like they can float out of the shoulder sockets. The elbows can expand. The forearms can soften. The wrists can expand. And all of the small bones in the hands are starting to float away from each other. Go back and soften the backs of the knees. Beautiful. Take the head back to the other side. Keep it on the side. Ear to shoulder. Gently look behind. And if you want, if you're feeling secure, they can give a small nod. Really broadening across the small of the back and also the front of the hip flexors. Put the ear back to the shoulder and gently look in front, looking down to the foot. Let the head be heavy, just let the heaviness stretch down the back, the side of the back. Good, ear back to the side of the shoulder, soften the jaw and really gently look up. And pelvis is heavy off the base of the spine. Really breathing right into the deep lower abdominals. Make sure the knees are relaxed. Good, head back to the side and take yourself over the other side, ear to shoulder, then gently peek behind. And if you're feeling comfortable, you can give a small nod, otherwise just enjoy the stretch. Softening across the front of the throat, the front of the chest. Good, ear back to the side and looking straight down towards the foot of the front. Let the weight of the head do the work here for you. Nice deep breaths. If you like, you can imagine you're breathing through the floor, up the feet, up the legs, into the abdomen. And then release back down the legs, back into the floor again. Good, ear back to the shoulder, soften the jaw and gently look up until you feel a stretch. Good, ear back to the shoulder, let the head roll down and back to looking left to right again. From here, rolling down through the spine for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and just hang over, let the head be heavy. Top of the head wants to keep on expanding down if it could, to touch the floor, but just let that stretch out the back of the neck, the backs of the shoulder blades, broadening across the small of the back. The ribs are floating away from each other. Good, bend the knees, and either by breathing in or breathing out, rolling up the spine through 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just allow the elbows to float up like there's strings on them. Make sure your knees are soft. Then the wrists float up like there's strings on them. Then the fingertips. Then cut the strings on the fingers, the wrist, the elbows. Soften the knees. Float up to the elbows again, wrists, fingers, and someone's just gently tugging one string higher than the other. So really feel like the movement's actually coming from that string on the fingertips. It's not coming from your shoulders or from your hips or anywhere else. Someone else is doing this work for you. Just gently tugging one side higher than the other. And then they gently pull both of them, let the head just come back to neutral. And then they cut the strings on the fingers, and the wrists, and the elbows, and the head, rolling down. 4, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. And just gently bend the knees and straighten until you find a stretch. And then again, just keep on cycling through that. Use the breath.
up through the spine. 4, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4,
3, 2, 1. Good. Keep the knees soft and linking the arms above. Just remember which one's in front. That will serve you later. And perfect circle on the ceiling. And just go back through the legs. Open up the spaces in all the joints and the muscle groups. Soften through the belly. Should feel like you're doing the bare minimum amount of movement. Maybe you don't even feel like you're moving. Let the butt hang heavy off the spine. Beautiful. Change directions. And remember, only go as far forward as you can go back. You don't have to make this a big movement. It can be super small. What we want instead is a good quality of movement, nice and smooth. Go back and soften through all the legs. Soften over the diaphragm, over the throat. Good, arms down. And change. And circle. Go back and reset the pelvis again. Keep breathing. Good, and change direction. Nice and gentle. This is even effective even if you're just thinking about it just like a thought. So if you made it the bare minimum movement. So find something nice and comfortable that allows you to have a good quality of movement. Good. And just roll the shoulders. And rolling down through the spine. 4, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back up. Good. And arm goes to head, bending over from the thorax and infinity sign or figure of 8. Soften the knees, soften the other arm. Again, good quality of movement. It can be nice and slow. We're not using the wrist, we're using the whole, not even using the arm, it's the whole upper body that's moving. Good, change the direction of the rotation. Good, coming up. Roll out the shoulder. Other arm goes to head. Make sure you keep the head-neck alignment stable. So you're not crunching the head over towards the arm. It's the other way around. The arm goes to the head. Soften the knees, soften the other arm, soften the butt cheeks. All of those will want to tighten. But you say, no, I release you. Smooth quality of movement through the thorax, not through the arm. Let's change direction. Beautiful, and bringing the arm down, rolling through the shoulders again. Good, wrapping the arms forward. And then open out. So send the spine away from you as you send the fingertips forward. Take out the tension in the muscles. Don't strain against the movement to try and get a feedback or feel like you're getting a stretch. Soften the muscles. Let the spine go away from you as far as it can. Then the spine reaches forwards as far as it can. Breathe out as you go forwards. Breathing in as you go up. Couple more. You can really start to bend the knees if you want. Send the butt, bones and the spine away. Then open up towards the front. Good. Last time going forwards. Just hanging over, working through the shoulders. Breathing deep into the small of the back, so you can imagine the wings of the pelvis widen every time you breathe. Good. Then just link the arms where you can, whether it's around your knees, which is with your hands, or with your whole forearms. Bend the butt down.
And just gently send that spine away. Don't strain the muscles against it. Just lightly, lightly, lightly send the spine away. Up towards the ceiling. Let the head be super heavy. You don't want to pop anything here. It's a really gentle movement. Good. Back to relax down. Now breathing in to look forward and lengthen. And down. Take yourself through a few cycles of these in your own time. Breathe in to look forward and lengthen. Then when you relax, breathe out. And fall back down. Head relaxes all the way down like it wants to touch the floor. Good. Just bend the knees and just raise the head. Just so that we drain some of the blood out of the head. And butt goes back up again. Put the right hand on the outside of the left foot. Put the left hand towards the ceiling. And if you can, look up. Look towards the hand. Otherwise, keep on looking down. Good. Coming back down again. And change over. Left hand on the outside of the right foot. Right hand towards the ceiling. Good, all the way down, and just gently come back to the crouch again. And just wiggle the hips a bit here, so you're just sort of happening to broaden out the small of the back. And then just spread the hands out a little wider and keep on doing that. Good, then just use the hands for support, take the feet out a little wider, put the heels down if you can, just relax down, not a huge stretch, don't go super wide with the feet, but just help to, if you feel comfortable, you move from side to side, drawing the belly button towards the spine so we can get a stretch across the small of the back. And drop the head down, reach the hands forward, keep going. And then just let your butt touch the ground without falling over backwards and roll down. Yes. And donutting one leg over the other. Super gently, let's just work through the hips. Make sure as you're doing this, you can keep on breathing into the small of the back and feel like it's just relaxing, softening deeper and deeper into the floor. Softening across the sternum as well. And then using the hands right near the hip, allow it to have a passive stretch. And looping the hands through the middle. And either grab the shin or the thigh. And you can do is don't try and crank the stretch straight up. You know, you can curl up a little bit. Then just release and gradually let the pelvis relax itself down towards the floor. Lengthening through the neck as you go. And wag the tail like a happy Labrador. And super gently just do a little circle in one direction. And then change the direction of the rotation. From here, lengthen the leg that's underneath. Take hold of the leg, draw it across to the center line. So it's right in the center of your sternum. Then the ankle, pull it up towards you. So it'll slightly stretch, change with the stretches. Good, relax that and just hug the knee into the chest. Lengthen out the other leg. So send the other leg away and let that opposite hip relax down to the floor. And then keeping the knee as high as it wants to, using the elbow on the floor to support yourself, just relax over to the other side, opening out. And think about sending the opposite hip deep into the floor still. breath in the hand to come back in. And let's change over the legs. So nice, easy opening movements. Still relaxing through from the neck, the front of the throat, all the way down through the sternum, like that dissolve deep into the mat. And the small of the back also dissolves into the mat. Really nice. And use the hand just to open out that hip. Oh, yes. Beautiful. Linking the hands through. Take hold of the shin if you want. Again, you can curve up. And then just gently allow yourself to relax down. So don't, don't strain yourself. But the sacrum just allows itself to relax down to the floor. And wiggle the butt. Happy Labrador. Really nice. And gentle circle. And circle the other way. Then relax down the lower leg. Move the knee across to the center line of the sternum, right in front of your chest or your belly button, and pull the other ankle up towards you. Not the other ankle, it's your ankle. Pull your ankle up towards you. And then just bring the knee. Oops, no, I'm going to go out. No, bring the knee in. This order. Make sure the other thigh is really relaxing down to the floor, or the hippies, and the legs stretching out away. And then put the elbow on the floor for support. Just gently bring the knee down. Keep it as high as it wants to. And I do find I have to apply a little bit of pressure on the knee here just to help the stretch. Send this other hip straight to the floor. Good. Use the breath in the hand to bring it back in and bring the other knee up. And happy Labradors. Give yourself the sacrum a massage on the floor. By the way, if you don't have to get around the knees here. You can get around the thighs. Actually, you want to prioritize having the back released into the floor rather than having a curve and grabbing the knees. Beautiful. And circle both the ankles. And circle the other way. And pulling the toes back towards the shin, lengthen the heels up, double nerve stretch. So the toes are always stretching down, the heels are always releasing up. Good, and then just point and flex the toes. Circle the toes, or circle the ankles. And circle the other way. And pigeon toe into duck feet. All the birds. So this is coming now from the hips, not from the ankles themselves. Good, and bend the knees. Circle round through the knees. And the other way. Beautiful. Put the feet down, hands out to the side, breathe out, lower the legs down. And then breathe in. Use the outward breath to change sides. And if you're feeling secure, you can also then turn the head the opposite direction as well. Breathe in first, then breathe out. Go in your own rhythm. So as you use a nice reflexive breath, as you hit the floor with the knees, just let the breath go and let the air just reflex in. And then the outward breath guides the legs back to the other side. breath go all the way deep into the belly, so it's like a spring recoiling. Good. Straighten both legs and point one leg out. Just turn yourself sideways and swing that leg forwards and then change. I'm going to find this hard because I've got plants in the way, but you might be fine. Yeah, that's it, plants. And then now just straighten the leg and just twist over. Doesn't have to go super high, just until you find a stretch. So I have rolled onto like the side of my hip on the grounded side. Good, use the outward breath to change back over. Adjust your spacing if you have plants in the way. And you can turn your head the opposite way if you feel like it. Good, just bend that knee and turn yourself around onto all fours and just go up into some cat's cows. Really slow ones. Down. 2. If you don't want to arch the back, just come back to neutral. Send the spine up. Don't clench the muscles against it. And down. Back up again. Good, level off, circling around to the left. And 2, 3. Really think about the spine dips all the way down and it dips all the way up. So again, relax the muscles, but just imagine the bones are doing the moving. Lovely, change direction. Four more. 4, 3, 2. Beautiful. Just pop up into one knee. And just gentle pelvis thrust forwards and back. Good. Cheat out the front leg and just bring yourself down into a stretch through the flexor. Still lifting up tall through the head. Good. Use the outward breath to come up and readjust to your square. Lifting up, bend over the side of the leg that's up. Use the outward breath to come back up. And just turn to look behind. If you want, you can use your hands on your knees here, just looking behind. Yeah, keep balance. Beautiful. Hands down. Just come up into an A-frame. Hang for a sec. Popping out one hip then the other if you choose. And back down the other side. Just pelvic tilts. Good, and cheat out the front leg as far as you need to so that when you come down, your shin is perpendicular to the ground, lifting up tall through the head. Beautiful, use the outward breath to come up. Readjust the legs to your square. Lifting up and stretching over the leg that's forwards. Use the outward breath to come back up. And place the other leg, the hand on the outside of the leg. If you need to use that as some leverage, just look around behind. Good, hands back to the center. Lift the butt up, come up into an A-frame again. Hanging over, wiggle the butt. And reach the fingertips out as far as they can go, dig them into the floor, lift the butt towards the ceiling, and try and put the thighs on the wall behind you. Good, just soften for a sec, let the head rise. Come up, and just gently swinging from side to side. Beautiful. Put the knee back down again, turn it to one side, and just front leg, turn it sideways. Put the other leg on the floor. And just stretching. If you feel like you can go down to elbows or onto your belly, you can do that. But try and feel like, so put your right leg that's forward, feel like you're sending your right shoulder towards your right ankle. Good, use our hands to support you just coming up. Keep that leg bent, top the other one over the top, and stretch it out. Good, the other leg, bend it, other leg out behind, and settling down. If it's your left leg or whichever leg is forward, that same shoulder is going to go towards the ankle. Good, use that hand on the outward breath to come up, keep that left or that leg bent, pop the other one over the top, and sitting up tall, looking behind. Beautiful. Just bringing both feet out in front and just wiggle yourself down. So you can sort of lengthen one leg than the other. And flex the feet, keep going. So don't really try and touch the toes at the moment. We just sort of want to wiggle out the back. Point the toes and keep going. Beautiful. Stretch the toes out as far as you can. If you get a cramp like I do here, then just pull them back up again. Good. Point. And flex the toes. See if you can flex them so far that the heels come off the ground. Good. Just sit up for a second, wiggle through. And then take yourself as chest upwards and forwards as far down as you feel comfortable. And just give yourself a stretch. We'd start with the feet relaxed. I like to wiggle the chest here, just because it helps release everything. And then if you're feeling secure, just take hold of, if you can reach the balls of the feet, just give them a gentle tug up. Relax that head so that you can also get a bit of a stretch along the neck as well. Sometimes feels a bit icky, so stretching the knuckle ligament or nuchal ligament along the back there. Feels remarkably uncomfortable. Beautiful. Use your hands and the breath to come up and wiggle again. And then just to finish off, just going to all four, cross-legged if you can, otherwise you can keep the legs up in front of you. And stretch over to touch the wall, but just keep both butt cheeks on the floor. And round to the other side. Really stretching out through those ribs. And back again. One more time. And then creeping the fingertips out. If you're can't do this in cross-legged, go into a child's pose. Creep the fingertips out as far as you can and gently pull back against them. Let the shoulder blades slide out towards the side and the neck release the head down.
Use the outward back in the hands to come back up and change the legs over. If you're in the child's pose, just go back down again. And hands back in. Onto your knees. Just crouch down here for a second. If you haven't done a child's pose, just do one now. If you have, keep on enjoying it. Good. Hands under your shoulders. Just tuck the toes under. And into a crouch with the head down. Then gently raise the butt towards the ceiling. Just hang over. With the legs as straight as you feel comfy. If you prefer to get a stretch at the back of the legs here, do that. Otherwise, if you wanted to stretch the back, soften the knees. And just take yourself through a few bend and straighten cycles. Soften the knees, twisty bounces. And bend the knees, rolling up gently through the spine. So always amusing when I wear this jumper. Check out the wrist, just do a couple of forearm stretches because we've used them a bit this week. Amazing! Check it all out. Complete! Yes, tomorrow is core day. Yay! So, feeling nice and buzzy now, or nice and soft, and whatever. I hope you're feeling nice. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow for the last day of the week again. How does that happen? In the meantime, please be kind to yourself.